A long time ago, on a comics page far, far away. Greetings and welcome to May the Panel Be With You, the Star Wars comic book show brought to you by the Punch Up Entertainment Network. I'm your humble host, Mike Gargoni, and joining me, as always, the Mos Eisley bank teller to my Gorick, the guy who says Han Solo's a bad guy, it's John Campbell.
Hello, everybody. Oh, baby, we're back in time. Back to the 80s. And
back to the 80s, indeed.
These have been the issues I've been the most curious about. I think everybody. I've got to imagine our listenership has as well. What is this comic without the roadmap of the movies?
We have passed the Rubicon here. Yes, we are back in the 80s with Marvel's original Star Wars run, but now we are unchained, unleashed, freed from the restraints of the dogged pursuits of the films.
And can I just say, let's get those chains back on, because
no.
I will just say, yes, there is a really interesting thing here about, because I do think if you look at the time, and people who were around back then, and I'm sure they'll let us know in the comments below if you were, at the time the feeling was that Star Wars was going on a break at the very least. After this, and I've seen interviews with Mark Hamill from the time where he goes, yeah, we're going to take a while off, and then maybe, in a few years we come back and I'm now the Alec Guinness and stuff. And I think that's kind of what George was telling them. It's like, yeah, at some point, maybe we'll come back and, there'll be a new generation. But I don't think he really knew, or he was just like, yeah, we'll probably do something. And of course I don't know when he started bandying about the prequels, but even I remember hearing that as a kid long before he did them. So, but it does feel like Marvel is like, okay, we got to keep doing Star Wars stories with a vague idea that maybe there'll be movies at some point.
Well, and we also have to keep in context, because of course we are covering issue number 81 of the Marvel Star Wars comics. This was released in March of 1984. We have a creative team that will sound very familiar. You've been listening to us for our past little chunk of coverage. And that's with Joe Duffy on writing, Ron Frenz on pencils. We have a couple of Toms, both a Mandrake and a Palmer on inks, with Tom Palmer also doing the cover. We'll talk about here in a second. We have Glennis Oliver on colors and Joe Rosen on letters. We have a certain Louise Jones, eventually Simonson, on edits, and Jim Shooter as our editor-in-chief still. So the Jim Shooter of it all is, again, let's go into the Wayback Machine, get us back to the Marvel of 1984. This is a Marvel that's still like trying to struggle after getting bought by a toy company. Like that's just happened or will happen soon, right? When does the Toy Biz thing happen?
About this. Is this when they're owned by Revlon?
Yeah.
We're in a weird place. The 80s into the 90s is a weird place at for Marvel, right?
Sure.
Where they're kind of struggling and God, I like that when you type in Marvel, the Wikipedia for the Marvel Cinematic Universe comes up.
Well, because that's all that matters these days.
Yeah. Wait, they publish comics as well? I've never heard of this. Because, let's see. So, from Marvel Entertainment Group, we're still a couple years out from when it was sold to New World, which is in 86. And that's the Revlon. It wasn't actually owned by Revlon, but the guy who owned them also owned Revlon. They weren't like a division of Revlon, but they were under the umbrella of a guy who had Revlon. So that's not yet happened. That's 2 years out from that.
Okay.
Anyway, that's Perlman, Ronald Perlman.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and basically it was just like, sure, I'll buy that fucking rinky-dink comic book company.
Right, because as of right now, Marvel is like they're a big name in comics, right? But comics isn't exactly a big name in anything.
No, and it's still true to some extent, but like the big thing was just the license, right? Like they're making most of their money off of Spider-Man on pajamas and stuff, right? Like that's where the money was.
Lunch boxes, got to get those lunch boxes.
Right. It's not till 97 that Toy Biz buys them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which is also a weird time when a toy company owns them. They don't own a toy company. Let me get this right. Okay, yeah, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when you get Avi Arad in there.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're in this era where if Marvel can keep making money, that is the goal to keep them above water.
Keep in mind the Jim Shooter of it all. It's May of '84 that Secret Wars comes out.
Right. Okay.
Of course, was not only a comic book thing, but was also a big toy thing as well. So it does tell you where their
That's where I got the
mindset-
toy biz in my brain.
Right. That's the other thing, right, about it is that yes, they're definitely thinking if we can publish comics that can sell the toys, which is where the real money is. So we're in that mindset. That's where we are with Marvel. The comics are no longer the bread and butter of the business.
When does G.I. Joe premiere? I think that's an important note on the timeline.
It's around this same time.
Right? Yeah.
G.I. Joe Real American Hero. 83. So yeah,
Okay.
we're right on the heels
Yep.
of it.
Because G.I. Joe obviously is originally like a Marvel comic, yeah.
82, the comic starts. 83, the cartoon series starts.
Right. And the toys are happening all at the same time, and that's where the money is, quite honestly.
Right. And Marvel Productions is making the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Which, once again, that's another piece of this, right? Because that's also Spider-Man is Amazing Friends. That's another big, source of money for them.
So, with all that in mind, what is the lingering thing that Star Wars is still putting out into the world? Merchandising.
Merchandising.
Star Wars, the lunchbox. Star Wars, the action figure. Star Wars, the flamethrower.
That never stopped. Whether there were movies or not, Star Wars merch was everywhere, baby!
So, to relinquish the license on Star Wars, to stop producing some kind of Star Wars branded comic book, would be a huge error on Marvel's part. And while they have made huge errors, this is not one of them.
We're dumb, but we're not stupid. Yeah, it does. And it doesn't seem like there is ever even a moment where they considered not. They keep this comic running as if nothing happened.
Right, and that's what gets us to issue number 81, which is our first issue that narratively takes place after Return of the Jedi. We have our same creative team we've had for a while, so Joe Duffy really steering the ship here, and something we've lauded her for is she knows the voice of these characters, and where she chooses to take that voice now is the interesting turn we have.
Yes. That is key. And also, we have talked about she does have a much greater handle on the characters' voices. But my issue with her often is she does lean into comedy a lot, sort of sitcom-y storylines here and there. Or comedy beats that I feel like are ill-fitting sometimes.
And that's her style as a writer. We've seen her on other books. I mean, Power Man and Iron Fist is the big example, right?
But Power Man Iron Fist, that's baked into the DNA, right? It is an odd couple comedy pairing. That book is nothing but those guys, jabbering at each other.
Mm-hmm.
So here it's weird. I find her Star Wars comics kind of strange to read because of that.
I think it is mostly because you're looking for a tone that doesn't quite exist yet outside of the films, I guess. And this comic dares to ask the question, what if Star Wars could be something else?
And then the answer is yes, but not that. No, I mean, she's not totally off base, right? Because there is one of the big things that Kasdan in particular brings to Star Wars is banter.
Mm-hmm.
But banter is different than comedy.
I suppose that's true.
But I'm talking capital C, farce, like comedy,
Sure, but I don't know if this book is necessarily veering into that. There are jokey moments that make you go, meh.
A couple times. It's touched on it a couple times. I'm not there's a lot of like
But like Han Solo's not farting and everyone laughs.
no, it hasn't gone that far, but there is a lot of like Lando, that alien drink is too spicy. What? You know?
But again, that is a remnant, that particular joke and that whole issue of like Lando undercover is a artifact of we need to tread water, right? So if we're going to be taking these characters forward, what does that look like?
That's the question I have about, right? I mean, that's why getting back to what I started here with, which is why I've been the most curious about these issues, is now you're like, okay, you're no longer having to seed things or avoid moving the storyline too far because we don't want to interfere with the movies. So what do you got? Let's do it. Here we go. Let's find out. Well, one thing I didn't expect right away is when we get into it, it's the next day.
It's literally the next day. But let's get to this cover first that, like I said, by Tom Palmer. All of our friends are here.
It's really rad. Like, this cover rules.
This cover is so reminiscent. I went and looked up who did this because it's so reminiscent of the expanded universe novel covers of our youth.
Yeah, absolutely. This feels like a paperback I would have picked up off the shelf at, Barnes and Noble or whatever.
For sure. This is like book 2 of the like New Republic era, New Jedi Order, whatever series. This is the one where Chewie gets crushed by a moon.
One of the crazier things that happens in the expanded
universe. They killed Chewbacca by throwing a moon at him.
Yeah, in retrospect, that is one of those things where you go like, I'm not sure we really needed to stay very dogmatic to those books. But because I was one of those kids that if you let me in a Borders, I beeline to media tie-ins.
Sure.
And was like, oh, new Star Wars, new Trek, oh, an X-Men novel,
And there's that weird shelf at the end of the aisle that says Warhammer that we all staunchly avoided.
And I think I've talked about this, maybe not on here, but yeah, my relation with Warhammer was everything looked very cool, but I couldn't understand what anything. But it was just like, these designs are rad. I don't know what it is though. And there was never any guideline. Like I'm like, are there books? Is there a book 1? What?
Yes, books. There's so many book 1s, John. Like you wouldn't believe.
I know. It's just I'm Warhammer curious is what I identify myself as. I love the idea, but it seems very tough to get into.
I recently picked up the like ultimate visual DK guide to Warhammer that is both like a breakdown of like, okay, here's the history of the miniatures game and like what the different miniatures look like over the years, but also like explaining the story aspects of it. That DK children's book explainer is thicker than some D&D manuals I own.
That makes sense. That would be the kind of thing I would need. Where I'm like, tell me why I should be interested in Warhammer.
So it started with the Horus Heresy. No, wait, we need to go further back.
The other thing too is I also being the kinds of nerds we are. I'm like, I'm already like all in on like 7 other universes. So I only have so much time in my life to devote to sci-fi. Anyway, back to Star Wars. This cover is great. It's got Han Solo with his blaster. There's a big moon behind him.
Because it's in space.
Yeah, because it's space. There's, what's this? Fan favorite Boba Fett?
Boba Fett, but he sells comic books.
It is just like, you guys like... It is sort of like we're post Return of the Jedi. Who's going to sell the books? Han, Boba Fett. Let's throw Leia on there. We got R2 and 3PO. It's Chewie. Hey, you Jawa people, we see you.
You're an iconic image from one of these films.
Mm-hmm. It is sort of just like, actually, I will say, it's almost all Tatooine imagery from A New Hope. Minus Luke Skywalker. Get that loser out of there and put in everyone's favorite Han Solo.
I mean, and right on the first page, it's me. It's Han Solo.
I will say, immediately. It is just like, kids, your favorite character's back.
Hell yeah. Now, the title did give me pause.
Jawas of Doom.
Jawas of Doom is the
Yeah,
title of this issue.
yeah. Not an alien race I associate with Doom a lot in Star
Or
Wars. I mean,
menace, or dire threats, or,
I think
yeah.
yeah, not menace, nuisance is what I would say the Jawas are at tops. They are a mild nuisance.
Well,
But
look,
yeah, they're
you just get them a mudhorn egg, and they'll be the best friends you ever had.
well, I will say something that now with the Disney shows and stuff, this comic brings up both Jawas and I'll call them by their appropriate name, Tusken Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care for the slurs in this comic. The both really been like given humanity by the current Star Wars stuff, right? Or at least nuance, right? Like
Nuance.
it is like they are societies that are that have their own things and aren't just threats from the outside. So it is sort of interesting to go back to a time when we're like, Jawa. I guess that time didn't really exist where anyone was like, Jawas!
Unless you're a droid, then you might be going, Jawas.
Which I guess this gets into a little bit, but immediately, yeah, it's I mean, I can't it did sort of feel like turn the page, he's just like, hey, I'm here. It's me.
Daddy's home.
Han Solo. Yeah. Don't worry, this comic's in good hands now. The most popular character's back. He's back, baby.
But
Harrison
then
Ford. We don't have to pay a Harrison Ford, so they can draw me as much as they want.
I love, like, getting back to Ron Friends' art is honestly such a balm after some of the Infinity stuff we were just covering.
No question, because this is the right level of, it's a comic book, but it's Harrison Ford. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it is the right kind of cartoonified, but recognizable.
Totally.
No, I think his art is solid.
And then,
Consistent. Big. This guy, though.
We cut to the next page. This guy never gets a name. He's just angry, redheaded rebel pilot, I guess.
He looks like a Disney henchman.
Ooh, yeah, good call.
Like LeFou has shown up in this comic, you know?
He's got a weird lumpy potato face and like a disheveled bowl cut.
And he's always just got this like sour look on his face, like, Han Solo. I will say, immediately I was thrown by, so this is, I also do love casual Ewoks on this page, just kind of walking by like, what's going on over there?
Yeah, because we're in the Ewok village. We're literally the day after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, they will say they just the night before had the celebration we saw. It's the next day. And I was immediately, there's a huge problem I have with this whole run of issues that we're going to be talking about, which is they're acting like it's over, which is insane.
Kinda. I mean, we'll get into it, but like there is this sense that I do appreciate in stories like this of like, we did it. The big bad evil guy is done.
Yeah.
And then everyone's sort of left a little aimless.
Yes, except for I would argue like, and once again, perhaps I'm bringing my knowledge of later stuff into it, but I think even at the time you'd be like, okay, they destroyed the Death Star, they killed the Emperor. That's just it? Like, are we to assume like everyone else, every other Imperial just went home? Because immediately the day after they destroyed the Death Star, they're like, shit, we got to figure out a government. Like, wow,
Right.
I just saying I agree. I like that, but it being the next day and they're talking like that is a little crazy to me.
What's even crazier is that like the next day Han Solo is angling to borrow money from this lumpy guy.
Actually, you're right. Yeah, I jumped ahead to stuff we'll talk about later. The really insane thing is we just defeated the Empire. Yay. And Han's like, I got to get some money. Really? There's a real backtracking of the Han Solo character here.
Yeah, a little bit. We'll get into it in later pages, but this first page is really more about a rundown of Han Solo's like history as a character. We talk about how like, oh, he saved Princess Leia from the Death Star. He was always running around, but this guy's like, yeah, but you were being like hunted by Jabba the Hutt and Boba Fett, and the whole reason you were frozen was because you owed him money.
I don't care what heroic things are. All of it is in the shadow of you owing everyone money, and now you want some of my money. Also, who is this guy, and why is... I guess we're to assume that this guy is low on Han's list of people to borrow money from, and he's just ended up here?
Or this is the guy that isn't necessarily friends with any of his friends, so he feels good asking him to borrow money.
Don't tell Leia I need cash. I will say... once again, the artwork here, the friend's artwork here is great, because I do love the when the guy angrily points at Han, and it's a very Harrison Ford thing to do. The like, me?
But haven't you heard about all the great things I've done since I escaped? I'm a general now.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Now, if I could just borrow $50, it'd be, like,
and this guy's reaction of like, well, hooray for you. No deal, Solo.
I like that the guy's walking away and Han is still like, and the shield generator, we took that down. And then even this Ewok is like, God, this is sad.
Come on, man. And then, as he's further walking away, Han Solo is shaking his fist at the guy saying, that's real charitable. I probably couldn't even spend your money anyway. No one would take it.
Yeah, because it had your dirty hands all up, you bastard. And this guy's going like, I wish Boba Fett was here to kill you.
Tensions are high.
And then Leia's like, hello, boyfriend. He's like, I wasn't shaking a guy down for money. Good morning. Once again, they had a night of celebration. And now first thing in the morning, he's like, come on, pal, you got to give me some cash.
So we get this scene where Leia's like, oh, it's so good that we're one. Now we're together. I'm so happy. Love you.
He's like, I agree. Now money.
Well, because Han says, I got a lot on my mind. And Leia, being the concerned partner, says, hey, talk to me.
Being the emotionally mature one, yes.
Let's
talk about
Han then says... like the fact that getting freed from Jabba's headquarters and helping overthrow the Empire once and for all hasn't solved the rest of my problems. Leia, reasonably asking, what problems? I'm rich.
Yeah. He's like, money. Cash. Cold, hard cash. I do think the use of the word cash is strange in Star Wars.
Yeah, credits is usually the accepted parlance, but whatever.
You ever seen anyone bust out a wad of bills in Star Wars?
Yeah, it's usually like piles of like random metal trinkets and tokens, which I always love.
I love is it the Mon Calamari money? This like the weird.
Wiggly.
I love that. Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
I always love when they show a good sabacc game going and you just push this big pile of just stuff into the middle of the table. And we assume it's all money of one stripe or another.
Yeah, but I do like, well, because once again, that further adds this idea that there's all these alien races and there's all this stuff and it's all worth different amounts. And anyway, meanwhile, an adorable scene is playing out as Chewie is cuddling with some Ewoks.
And random rebel pilot walking by, we just get his thought bubble. I don't know who this is. Maybe it's Wedge.
Maybe.
But it says, if anybody ever told me the day had come when I'd see Chewbacca the Wookiee catching a nap with a couple of little Ewoks, I'd never have believed him.
Yeah, anyway, back to whatever I'm doing in my full pilot gear, too, just walking around.
He didn't really have anything else to wear. What is he going to do? Leave his helmet around for an Ewok to poop in?
Now, Friends has recreated the Empire Strikes Back finger point here. And then
because Leia's like, hey, my family's rich. You don't have to worry about money. You're with the rebellion now.
This irked me. Just the idea, like, what does he want them? It makes Han seem insane.
But what we get to is that, like, as Han's storming away, he says, I always made it on my own before, and I tend to now. I don't belong to anything, when Leia says he's part of the Alliance. And that's what we get to on this next page, is as Han is, like, struggling with this, he is coming to this realization that his life has changed, and he can't really cope with it.
I think that would all be fine. It's just that it's the next day.
But it's comic book next day, John. This is nearly a year after the movie came out.
I just think it's so interesting that, like, he would just be like, ah, great, we brought down the Empire. oh, I'm getting itchy. Like, just like, Jesus, man.
Yeah,
And also, wasn't he in Carbonite like 3 days ago? Like, I mean, like, how? I would still think this guy would be riding the high a little bit longer
no,
before
he
he's
missed.
like, "You gotta get some cash."
He missed all the character development that everyone else went through between Empire and Jedi.
I guess that's what it's meant to be. Because, like I said, it does feel like, okay, this immediately establishes that Han has learned nothing.
Because Leia even says here on this page, as she's approached by Luke, Wedge, and Lando, and they're all like, "Hey, what the hell's up Han's ass?"
Wedge appears to be rocking a Parisian night suit here.
Well, it was a party the night before.
I put on my working threads. Ho ho ho. Luke,
Leia says,
Luke is not changing his clothes. He reeks.
"Oh man, he smells like burnt Vader right now."
Lando's like, take a shower. My God, man. I'm on my 5th outfit change. This is my afternoon.
Leia says here, almost getting killed back on Tatooine, and then Jabba and Boba Fett and everyone dying instead, and the last battle here on Endor, and the overthrow of the Empire at long last, in a short period of time, right on the heels of finding out he's lost a big chunk of his life in hibernation. Han just needs a little time to adjust.
They are doing. I see what they're doing. It's fine. Oh, the other thing, what was I saying? Oh, there's a lot of recapping here too. There's a lot of like, I mean, it's the same thing with Han, and then they're going, and then after that, I almost wanted an asterisk like, see the events of Return of the Jedi,
and Empire Strikes Back, and A New Hope.
Yeah. See the Star Wars. And so then we got Han moping in the woods, going, I don't belong to anything or anyone. Hey, the Falcon. Now, and can we talk about a huge continuity error here?
A huge continuity error?
On the Falcon?
What's the continuity error?
It's got the satellite dish that got knocked off.
Well, maybe the Ewoks found it.
They found it?
They found it.
It found it after the Death Star, because it gets knocked off on the Death Star.
Uh-huh. And what do we know about that Death Star explosion, John? It leaves a lot of pieces in very conspicuous places. Don't you do it.
In an ever unchanging thing that we can build a whole thing around that would...
Yeah. Boy. That throne room will be perfectly intact when they find it.
Don't you do it. Don't you push me.
It's going to be there long enough that you can make a whole knife around it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's stupid. I can't believe someone let that in a movie. Anyway, he's like, he's just, I do like this, where, of course, Han would be like, hey, baby, daddy's home.
Because, yeah, he's strolling around the Falcon, kind of with his inner monologue, being like, I've been through so much, but the ship has always been here for me, and everything's just how I left it. I just need to double check it to make sure I still have some modicum of control over my life.
I will say, like, the idea that Han and Leia split up at some point makes sense. The way Han is portrayed here, and once again, especially with the timing of it being the next day, it feels like I can't believe they ever got married. This guy feels like he's already out. But whatever. So
How
he's
much
walking
time
around
do you think takes place within the events of Return of the Jedi?
It can't be very long. I mean, no more than just within that movie. I mean, really, can it be more than a week?
Like a week, yeah. It's usually the estimate.
Yeah, it can't. I mean, there's got to be a couple days in there. But the way the movie is put together, it really does feel like they save Han and then immediately take off to the Rebel base or to the Rebel fleet. You got to give a day or two for Luke to go to Dagobah and see. Mm-hmm. A week feels pretty right.
So Han Solo is pulled out of carbonite freezing, has to get brought back up to speed on everything, is made a general, is told they're leading an attack on the Death Star, and is just like...
He rolls with it extremely well in the events of Return of the Jedi. I guess the idea, once again, it's not a terrible that he's now kind of freaking out.
Yeah, because at least before, when he got like pulled out of carbonite, there was a mission, there was something to do, there was still this enemy that could give him focus. Now that it's not there,
things have settled. It's a little bit like, whoa.
Yeah.
Hey now, cool it.
To the point where Chewie comes up behind him and lets out a growl, like a gentle
Yeah.
growl.
A gentle one, yes, key.
And Han going, Chewie, oh no, nothing's wrong. I was checking a few things, making sure everything's.
But this is his best pal. I do like the idea Chewie's like, come here, come to Chewie. Chewie knows you're hurting.
And in like tiny little font, Han's like, but what could possibly be wrong? And Chewie just goes in for a hug.
That is nice. I like that because I love this relationship always. It's one of the most important in all of Star Wars.
For sure.
I do like the touch of the dice because people brought up in Last Jedi, like, oh, were those dice ever important? Yes.
They were there the whole time.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Just because you weren't paying attention to them didn't mean the rest of us didn't clock them. And clearly the people making this comic did.
Here we have a thought bubble from Han saying, hey, my dice are just hanging right there. These are the dice that I used to won her with. Which is a bit of a, like, that'll get changed to a sabacc game later. But, like, the idea that he won the Falcon gambling has always been really early established.
Absolutely. It's just not, it's not we of course know those dice came from Corellia.
Yeah, Kira.
And yeah, from Kira, yeah. But that character doesn't exist yet.
Well, she kind of does, because that was the original name for the character that was supposed to be Luke's sister, but don't worry about it.
Right. Well, yes, because nothing ever gets fully left behind it. Like, people are always digging through that waste paper basket at Star Wars.
Yes, absolutely.
Which I actually do like, that, like, there are no wasted ideas at Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, this is a fast transition.
Yeah, we hard cut to the Falcons taking off. It's Han and Leia and R2, and they're heading off of Endor because Han's got it in his head that he needs to go, like, get money. That's just, like, the thing he needs to, like, settle him a little bit.
And he just remembers that he's got a bunch in a bank on Tatooine.
Right, because he had planned on stashing it there until he could come back with more to pay off Jabba.
Right, yeah. So he'd been putting money away somewhere on Tatooine, on a credit union on Tatooine.
Yeah. I love that he banks with a credit union. They give him much better interest rates.
Yeah. Now I can get what kind of return on investment here?
The overdraft fees are negligible at best.
The idea of him, like, at the desk of a loan officer or something going like, oh, interesting. Let me just look over. He's got the little half reading glasses on. Let me just take a look at this fine print here. Okay, yeah, looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get some kind of discount if I recommend my friend Chewbacca for an account as well?
Free toaster, you say?
Oh, and I heard something about a free toaster. Anyway, yeah. So he's like, oh, this is great. There's money waiting for me. And so, yeah, he's going to Tatooine.
Because everything goes back to frickin' Tatooine.
I love that Leia has to ask what we, the comics readers, are asking, which is, why are you bringing R2 and I with you?
And Han, honestly, is just coming up with some, like, really thin excuses here. This feels more like Han is just searching around for excuses so that he can spend time with Leia. And why is he taking R2? Don't worry about it. Yeah,
it does feel a bit like that. And he is just like, well, you never know if you need a droid. And I need a good co-pilot since Chewie wants to... Okay, learn about the Ewok... Oh, no, sorry, there's something in the next issue. Never mind. But he wants to stay around and learn about the Ewok hunting techniques.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Why not?
Yeah, that's fine. But it really is just like, we just want to do a Han and Leia thing. And I do like that Leia has put on a sexier version of her Hoth outfit.
I like this outfit. This is like slightly more undone Hoth outfit. We still got the shoulder pads, but she's rolled up the sleeves. She's wearing some pilot gloves.
Yeah. Okay.
Though those gloves disappear from panel to panel, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, because she definitely has them on here, and then they're gone, and then, anyway. So, off they go.
They go to Tatooine. Meanwhile, on Tatooine, we cut to a vulture above the Sarlacc pit that is then snatched by the Sarlacc.
Something I did not know is just how fast we resurrect Boba Fett.
Oh, John. Of course. Right away.
It is instantly undone.
You didn't think this idea was cemented at the earliest opportunity in the Star Wars fandom?
I didn't know literally the earliest because I think is this not the first thing that anyone's written that takes place after Return of the Jedi? Pretty much, right?
And this is the first instance of Boba Fett surviving the events of Return of the Jedi.
I just love that so the idea that anyone would ever be like, what? You're just like, oh no, he was brought back immediately.
Yeah.
It's a given.
We cut to a Boba Fett shaped sand dune thinking about the events of Boba Fett dying.
Yeah, including him being vomited out by the Sarlacc pit.
Which is like almost in every continuity. I think the newest one, where in the Book of Boba Fett, where he literally like slices and fights his way out, is the most like fighting he's had to do to escape the Sarlacc pit. Because in every other iteration that I'm aware of, the sail barge explodes, effectively like cripples the Sarlacc, and then he's either vomited out or someone crawls down in there and grabs him.
Yeah. Yes, I do think they actioned it up a bit. Favreau, it made him a little bit cooler about it. But yeah, essentially, there's some version of him being regurgitated.
So yeah, he's burped out of the Sarlacc, and we find Boba Fett here in the sand as, what's this? The Doom Jawas approach.
I gotta say, I wasn't ready. This scared the shit out of me when I turned the page. The most terrifying of Star Wars creatures.
These are purple-clad Jawas with burning violet eyes. As they search the remnants of Jabba's sail barge, they find a unconscious Boba Fett and make a extremely flawed decision here in that they mistake Boba Fett for a cyborg.
I do like the way they're just like, I don't know, it's probably a droid or a cyborg. Whatever, load it up onto the thing. Let's go.
Because Jawas aren't speaking English, but there's a droid with them that is narrating this whole scene.
I do like that they have to have this protocol droid so that we follow any of what's happening.
Right. I think
well, no, they have droids. It would make sense that they would flick one on.
But like, just take this page for a second. If you delete all of that protocol droid's dialogue, does this page still make sense?
I think so. I feel like I think it does. I think that they wouldn't have let that happen though. I think now you probably would just let it be visual,
right?
And
just
like Utini.
Top panel, Jawas sifting through garbage, pointing around, speaking in weird little gleeps and glops. They find the Boba Fett shaped sand dune. They dig him out. They prop him up, and then they drag him back to their sandcrawler and drive away.
Yeah, one of them says Utini.
One of them would say Utini, of course. As is tradition.
Yes, yeah. Is Utini like their aloha? It kind of means a lot of things in their culture.
It means hello. It means goodbye. It means look over there. Yeah, it's like
yeah. Utini.
Like a skibbity or a 6-7, it is a context-based exclamation.
Don't try to be hip with the kids.
I'm not hip with the kids. I'm making observations based on my job.
Yeah. You spend more time around children. I'm just like the what and the what with the numbers and the such.
For those who don't know, I work at a school and I observe the children at times. And yes.
Yeah.
On an anthropological level, the skibbity evolved into the 6-7, and both are context-sensitive exclamations, meaning almost nothing in and of themselves.
Whereas I'm living a Eastwood and Gran Torino, get off my lawn type lifestyle. With your 6s and your 7s. Don't know what the hell anybody's talking about. Anyway.
We cut to some Tusken Raiders.
Yeah. Wearing some real fetching blue outfits that I don't remember ever seeing them in.
I love a good teal on a Tusken Raider.
Also, this is a real specific detail, but we always know they wear the head wrapping, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That it extends to the hands and feet is an interesting note here.
Oh, no, that's always been the case.
Has it been? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, the hands, yes. I don't know about, but I don't remember ever seeing a lot of Tusken Raider feet to begin with.
We were just talking about the Book of Boba Fett, John. There's a whole dance sequence.
Oh, yes, of course there is.
And you can see them when they're riding the banthas, and it's there.
Yeah. I guess I didn't. I'm looking at the hot toy of them.
Yeah, or when Anakin goes and butchers a village, you can see their little children dancing around before they're slaughtered.
I gotta say, if you're buying the hot toy of Tusken Raider, you are committed. That is serious.
Now, how many different facial expression heads do they have for the Tusken
Oh,
Raider?
well, that's a good question. I hate to break
Famously,
your...
the hot toys usually have heads you can swap out to give them different facial
Oh yeah,
expressions. So
yeah.
I want like the joyful, the sad, the angry Tusken Raider.
Okay, I'm looking. It does not seem to come with alternate heads. A lot of hands.
Okay,
Just
okay.
seems to be the one head though.
Tragic.
But you do get the rifle, the gaffy stick,
Okay, okay, okay.
the binoculars.
Cool.
Yeah, you get the bandol. I mean, like all of their stuff, it is hyper detailed.
You sell this so that you can recreate with your hot toys with the A New Hope white like tabard Luke, him getting knocked down by the Tusken Raider, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. Is like I said, if you're that committed, I am a Hot Toys collector. I have a couple of Star Wars, but like Marvel and Star Trek are my main collection. So, but if you're getting the Tusken Raiders, you know who would have the Tusken Raiders? Titus Welliver, who plays Bosch. That guy has every fucking Star Wars hot toy.
If it were me,
God.
if it were my display case, it would be Tusken Raider giving a fist bump to Boba Fett. That's all I'm saying.
There you go. Yeah. Go get him, buddy. I mean, look, we've talked about Book of Boba Fett as a show is kind of all over the place. But a lot of the events of it, I love.
The whole Boba Fett Tusken Raider thing, I think, is a fun story.
I think that's great. I think a lot of what happens in it just as a show, it holds together strangely. It's kind of glued. It's kind of a bunch of different stuff glued together.
Mm-hmm.
I still enjoy the hell out of it, though.
But speaking of dirt holes on Tatooine, we're back in Mos Eisley.
When are we not? Mos Eisley's here, and this is Garrick?
Garrick, who recognizes that the pilot of the Millennium Falcon is not welcome here. Now, is he referring to Han Solo, or is he referring to Lando at this point?
This is Mos Eisley space... speaking clearance to land minimum. Your pilot's not welcome here. Give me a break, Mos Eisley. Who am I talking to anyway? Oh, it's got to be Lando or maybe Chewie, because when he says it's Solo, he says, "Aren't you a piece of sculpture or something?" So he's not thinking that it would be Han Solo.
Right, exactly. So
it's Lando or Chewie.
Right, and Chewie's welcome everywhere, so it's got to be Lando.
I don't like what that says about Mos Eisley.
I think it says more about Lando Calrissian and his willingness to cheat, gamble, and steal in every corner of the galaxy.
What was that issue? We had that issue where they just went into a random bar somewhere, and there just happened to be a guy who's like, Lando Calrissian.
That was Drebble.
Yeah, that was great. How? Of course. And you're like, shit. The second, why that scumbag? Yeah,
but then of course we have the polar opposite of that, where it's like some places Lando goes and he's a folk hero. You go to Iskalon and everyone's like Lando.
Now wait a minute though. The next line adds further, which I guess maybe it's just something else, because he says, "Can we, Garrick? Can we land or not?" He says, "Last time you left this planet under your own steam, you and Chewbacca took off without paying your docking fees." So that's a separate incident. That
would have been A New Hope, because they took off.
I know what that is, but I mean that's not what he was referring to about the pilot's not welcome.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so it's a separate. We have a problem with Lando, and we have a problem with you. And then I do like, I'll pay you later, and the guy says, "You always say that." How many docking fees has this guy not paid?
Oh, so many.
Han Solo is the guy who's like, "Oh, I forgot my wallet."
Uh-huh.
I'll catch you next time.
I never got that parking ticket in the mail.
Yeah. You have my old address. See, that's the problem. Yeah. This guy's got an excuse for everything. Han always gets out of jury duty.
And then we have Leia swooping in and saying, "But hey, I've got diplomatic priority." How she would have diplomatic priority on Tatooine, I don't know. But anyway.
And particularly now, diplomatic. I mean, if we're to believe that like the Empire has just fallen overnight, what is diplomatic anything anywhere?
Yeah, but it works.
Yeah, it does. I will say it's further Han being like, my more successful girlfriend. I mean, this is really a classic male ego. My wife makes more money than me, right?
No,
That's all
100%.
this is. And I'm not okay. I'm not providing for this family.
That's sort of the struggle we have Han Solo in here, is that like he is
Yeah.
so adrift. He doesn't know what he's providing to this
Yeah.
relationship, to the alliance, to life in general anymore.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, once again, I like that idea. It's so fucking fast. Anyway, that's always going to be my big
That's
issue
comic
here.
book time, John. Like it's really really fast and it's really really slow. How old is Franklin Richards supposed to be?
Anywhere from 4 to 18, to 25.
Uh-huh.
Well, I do like when the Superman comics were just like, we don't want John Kent to be a kid anymore, so send him into another dimension with his crazy grandfather and come back and he's an adult now.
But Damien is a child forever.
Yes. I actually do like that now that it is like Damien's upset that his best pal is now much older than him.
Uh-huh.
That's not fair. Anyway, so they're like, all right, well, let's go get my money.
So the most riveting scene we've all been waiting for, Han Solo goes to the bank.
Well, before that, let's get to a very weird example once again of Joe Duffy's sitcom, which is this guy mistakes Leia for a prostitute.
Yep.
Hey, how much, sweetheart?
But it does give us a little bit of drop dialogue here, being like, oh, sorry, no. I was just looking for anything, because since the gangsters left, the Jawas have been a real bastards about this place.
Which is so funny that in the power vacuum, the Jawas are the problem now.
Take the Jawas, for instance. These little scavengers were close to starving. Jabba had recently put them out of the scrap metal business, probably forcibly. They learned a few of his tricks, though. Now that he's gone, they're mean and greedy. They've gotten so that they're almost as dangerous as the Sand People.
I do love the idea. Hey, careful with that S word. No, the idea that it's just like, hey, the Jawas are mean little bastards now.
Vicious.
Yeah, they used to be cute and cuddly. Now look at them. One bit me the other day. Son of a bitch.
Do they even have mouths? I don't know.
I don't know what's going on in those hoods, but something bit me. That's all I know. Something bit me. Yeah. It's very. I mean, I do like the idea. His proposition of her is the weirdest way into a conversation then about the state of Tatooine.
Yeah,
Hey,
a little bit.
how much for the evening? Ah, sorry about that. Anyway, Tatooine's terrible now.
Yeah, not that it was good before, but it's even worse
Now
now.
it's real bad. Real bad.
You thought it was bad with Jabba in charge. Wait till there's a power vacuum.
And for some reason, in my impression, Dennis Franz is playing this guy. Anyway, I gotta get back them white PD blue. And so yeah. And
Meanwhile,
so,
in the bank,
you know, I also the horrible, and you know what sand people are like. And Leia's like, no, I grew up as royalty, so I don't.
as of the canon of this book, Leia's never been to Tatooine.
That's not true. She was there to.
Oh, she was there for but she hasn't really like experienced the cultural texture of Tatooine.
You don't think Luke took her around to the old neighborhood? It was the shithole I grew up in.
And there's the burnt skeletons of my aunt and uncle, and
You didn't bury him? Oh no, we left. So anyway, Han is yelling because what do you mean I can't have my credits?
so this is kind of another jokey, like misunderstanding-based conversation.
Unbelievably jokey. His account has been frozen because he was frozen.
Mm-hmm. And the bank teller is insistent that, like, I can't be talking to Han Solo because he's frozen. Han Solo then says, but I'm Han Solo and I'm right here. She then says, well, tell that to my system. And he says, I just got thought out. I am talking to you physically. And she says, that's not what the computer tells me.
I'm sorry, the computer says you're frozen, so I can't. I just work for the computer.
This is some Office Space stuff right here.
I mean, I don't mind the like the whole idea about like, hey, bureaucracy, man. Well, that's not what the system says.
But on Tatooine, that feels weird.
It feels weird that there would be proper banking institutions on Tatooine that aren't just like, some slumlord that holds your money.
No,
Everyone, and also you want to talk about. I do like Friends is very good at the likenesses of the actors from the movies, but anytime you need an original character, they're the weirdest looking person you've ever. Look at this woman.
She's got a long face. She's got a bad case of long face.
It is. They took a face and just smushed it, and then whoop.
She's got some good witch face going on.
Can I just say maybe my favorite line now in Star Wars is Han yelling, "I am not frozen." Yeah. So, and then the other thing too, I was waiting for like, all right, well then show me your ID. I lost it. God damn it.
Han storms out of here.
This is bullshit. And so, yeah.
Han's like just charging away. He's moving off to the cantina, and Leia's like, "Hey, can you slow down and talk to me for a second?"
Once again, he would be impossible to be in a relationship with. He is so, and that is consistent with the movies. He is so quick to just be like, "Oh, well then, fuck it all," like, God damn it. That's just how this guy processes. I guess she's going to have to learn that that's just how he deals with stuff. He's got to flip out for a second or several days.
Yeah,
because I do like this beat where he's like, "I'm going into that cantina," and she's like, "Well, I'm going to go with you." He's like, "Oh, this is not a place for a Princess Leia. What you're going to see and more importantly smell in there."
But she, standing up for herself, was like, "Look, you can do whatever you'd do if I weren't here. I'll do the same. I'm here with you to back you up."
It is just kind of like, dude, what are you so upset about? Like, you got a great girlfriend. The Empire's been defeated. Things are going your way.
But Han Solo's a guy who, like, has always steered the ship himself.
Yeah.
And now that he's part of something larger and has commitments to people and ideals, he's panicking.
All of that stuff is great. It's just, I think you need more than a 22-page comic to explore that.
And this is issue no. You really got to think about this as an issue number 1 of like a new series, right?
You absolutely do. I mean, they almost should have just restarted the numbering here, and they would now. That wasn't really done back then as much as it is now. And because she's able to be like, she's able to calm him down actually once they're in the cantina, and they're in the darkest corner of this cantina.
Well, sure, because a cantina on Tatooine, that's all dark corners.
Yeah. No, there are no lights in here. No.
People come inside to get away from the big light in the sky on Tatooine.
Yeah. The big lights. Plural.
But they're consoling each other a little bit, but then Leia has the realization, hey, if a computer's your problem, we have R2-D2. He's the best at computers.
And then she's like, oh, shit, R2. Huh?
Because, they left him back with the Falcon.
He's like, R2? What are you talking about R2 for? And then she's like, oh, wait, a guy just said something about scavenger Jawas. Uh-oh.
So they rush back to the Falcon, and there's no sign of R2-D2.
And he asks, I do like him asking, Garrick, did you see our droid? And he's like, I don't see anything. What do you want from me?
Mos Eisley's Mos Eisley. It's every man for himself, and the strong ones help themselves.
Yeah. What, I'm supposed to keep an eye on every droid that comes around here? Pfft.
What do I look like to you, a stormtrooper?
And so they steal a couple of speeders.
Yeah, so Han, really not helping himself ingratiate towards Garrick, steals 2 of the speeders he's working on, and
after kicking him, get out of here.
The chest kick might have been a bit much.
I'm taking the speeder and get out of here.
And these are like the land speeder equivalent of, like, I don't know, ATVs or go-kart. They're single person. They look like Luke's speeder from A New Hope, but they only seat 1.
Right, which is interesting because for a split second I was like, Why are they stealing two? Oh, because they only seat one. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They are just shrunk. I mean, they're exactly the same design, so they are just shrunk down
Yeah.
land speeders from the
They're
first movie.
go-karts.
Yeah.
But they zip out into the desert and then they go looking for a sandcrawler. But meanwhile, in the sandcrawler, it's R2-D2.
Yeah. Pooit?
That is correct. You are within Jawa's sandcrawler. You have been fitted with a restraining bolt, which makes all attempts at escape futile.
Yeah. And so, well, he's been here before.
Yeah, this is old hat. So he starts rolling around and he bumps into a random foot. And whose foot is it? Why, it's Boba Fett's.
Yep. And the just question mark exclamation points of R2 being like, "Ah!"
And the protocol droid in here is like, the Jawas believe that it is a droid, but it is difficult to judge for sure. It is almost unintelligent. Note the corrosion of its metal parts. We found it very near here, at the lip of the Sarlacc's pit.
Yep. And then is this a R2 memory?
I guess R2 would remember everything that happened at Cloud City, right? He was there.
It's just, yeah, but it's just, I think this is the only time I can think of where we are shown the memory, like a droid's memory.
Yeah.
Like having a flashback. It's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just unusual.
Yeah. But yeah, R2 knows what's up.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Han didn't like that guy. I probably don't either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fair. So anyway, I do like that Boba Fett is just 100% back in his fully restored armor.
Yeah. I mean, look, you got to draw Boba Fett to look like Boba Fett.
Hey, we're trying to sell books over here.
Yeah, come on.
So anyway, Han and Leia are now shooting at the sandcrawler.
Yeah, they pulled up alongside and they're opening fire on this thing. They're missing intentionally to try to get him to stop.
Right, yeah. The only way I know to stop is to shoot at him.
And Leia's going along with it. They're opening fire. They're circling the sandcrawler. Obviously, their speeders are faster than this thing. The Jawas are getting on the roof. They're firing back.
Yeah. Little bastards.
Watch out, Leia. Those little bastards have blasters. They don't say bastards in the comic. This is a comic book from the 80s.
They should, though. Well, I will say, is it Leia or Han? I don't know because they're driving in circles here. Oh, no, it is Han who says, why those dirty little... And he's about to say bastards. But I'll fill it in for you.
In the confusion, as the Jawas are like emptying out onto the roof of this thing, R2 notices a port for his little droid proboscis.
And he says, whoop, whoop, whoop. He turns into Curly from the Three Stooges for a second and says, whoop, whoop, whoop.
But unfortunately, right as he's about to plug in, he gets tased because he's wearing that restraining bolt, and that's what those do to droids.
Although I will say the way it's drawn, it looks like the thing is coming out of the remote on the droid and zapping him.
I mean, it kind of is what's happening. It's just a visualization of...
Sending him a signal. These comics. And then, meanwhile, Boba Fett is still like, oh, my head.
Yeah. Boba Fett has been nonverbal up to this point, but he is standing and he's clutching at his head.
Ow. And so I think it's Leia that finally points out, Han, we're just shooting at Jawa. None of this is getting us anywhere. We're now just in a gunfight with Jawas.
We've made them mad, but we haven't stopped them.
Yeah. in all the time I expected, I never expected them to shoot back.
They're Jawas.
Yeah, I mean, you do wonder how much does Han know about Jawas?
In the wider Star Wars universe, there is, like, Jawas are not native to Tatooine necessarily. They're all over the place.
You mostly see them portrayed on Tatooine.
Sure. That's just because we can never escape Tatooine, John.
It is the most important planet in the entire franchise. It's something we bring up a lot. Anyway.
Is their home planet Tatooine? Oh, dear. Sorry, I'm on Wikipedia now.
Wouldn't it have to be? I mean, just
Not
that's what
necessarily.
I associate them. Well, I mean, just they are so commonly shown on there that
Sure,
it
it's
just
true.
feels like that would only make sense. Anyway, they may be other places, but their home planet is Tatooine. All right, and so okay, so now they're gonna get closer.
Yeah, so they got more blaster fire incoming. Han thinks he's getting a lot of cover fire from Leia, so he's gonna make his move. But Leia says, "But Han, that shooting wasn't coming from me; it was coming from somewhere behind us." And then she is exploded.
Yep.
Han, I guess, doesn't hear her shout this. I mean, they're in speeders. How could he hear her?
Yeah. And also doesn't hear the thing explode though.
There's lots of explosions happening right now. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, a lot of stuff is exploding.
But thankfully, Leia is thrown clear of her speeder before it goes boom.
Yeah. And then Han is really I mean, this thing looks like it's out of control, his speeder.
I mean, it kind of is, because we even get his dialogue here of, whoops, I better adjust my speed before I smash right into the oof, as he smashes right into the sandcrawler.
Oh, God. It's bad.
We get a little bit... Joe Duffy's been pretty good about not doing this, but we get a whole sequence here where Han is climbing up the sandcrawler saying, perfect, now I just need to climb up the sandcrawler.
Yeah, it's still a problem that's in older comics of just like, and now as I adjust my, it's like, God.
Yeah.
It's all that I always go back to the Spider-Man thing. Look, all I have to do is shoot my web over there, and then and you're just watching him do all the things he's describing. It's like, why does he need to say it though?
Because we're paid by the word.
To say it. Yeah. Stan Lee's like, how are they supposed to know? I don't know what they're drawing.
Han gets up to the top of the sandcrawler. He's looking around. He gets winged, though, by a bolt.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah.
It knocks him down into the sandcrawler. Leia, meanwhile, is like, oh no, I think he got knocked down to the sandcrawler. What's this? Oh, it's Tusken Raiders.
Who are shooting laser blasts, but in the movies, don't they shoot like bullets?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But shooting guns in a 80s children's comic book is maybe not the best look.
Yeah, I guess, but that's
it's space. They all have lasers.
It does sort of feel that way. So anyway, Han comes to in the sandcrawler is like, Boba Fett!
Boba Fett, meanwhile, is like, who?
Yeah. And Han is thinking, well, here I can't give friends this Han face.
Yeah.
Nah.
He's got kind of a scrunch. You're talking about the top left panel here?
Yes, I am, yeah.
Everything
it's over. He's trying to do like a face, but it just is a little too scrunched.
It becomes Gilbert Godfrey at a certain point.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so Leia's concerned.
Because he got knocked into the sandcrawler, but she's shouting a warning to Han that the sandcrawler can't stop now, and it's heading straight for the Sarlacc pit. Uh-oh.
Right. That's bad.
So she observes from outside that the Jawas are now abandoning ship, and the only ones left on here are R2, Han, and Boba Fett.
And of course the big, surprise here is Han or Boba Fett going, Who are you?
Right. Because Han Solo's like, look, I know how you feel about me, but we need to get out of here. And Boba Fett's like, how I feel about you? Do I know you? Please, tell me who I am. And Han's like, sure, later. Now just get on all fours while I climb onto your back, and then hoist R2-D2 up to me so we can escape.
Yeah. So
he does. I love this panel in the bottom right here of, like, clearly in the distance, Han Solo just yeeting R2-D2 off the top of this sandcrawler.
There you go. I love Boba Fett handing R2-D2 up to Han Solo is a very weird thing to see.
Boba Fett's just that strong. He deadlifts R2-D2 straight up over his head.
There you go. And so, but they're headed right for the Sarlacc pit, which we see here.
Mm-hmm.
And Leia's, of course, trying to tell him this.
Leia running directly to the side of the sand. This is a smaller sandcrawler than what we've seen before.
I guess conceivably there could be different sizes of sandcrawlers.
Yeah, this is the mean little scrappy one, not those big lovable ones that we're used to.
Those are my sandcrawlers.
Yeah. So, she's shouting for Han. Han, meanwhile, is leaning back down to give Boba Fett a hand up.
I can't believe what I'm seeing.
I can't leave him, not when he's like this and helpless. Not even Boba Fett deserves that.
But then Han says, "Hurry, we'll both be dead. Come on, what are you waiting for?" And then Leia's shouting, "Han, jump!" And suddenly Boba Fett goes, Han, Solo.
Solo!
I gotta say, I don't know what behooves him to right now decide he needs to kill Han Solo.
He is not in his right state of mind.
No, he can't be.
No.
Because even Han says, "Oh no, not now."
And so Boba Fett, in confusion, is firing at Han Solo. Han Solo's like, it's too late, I guess. I'm jumping out of here.
Yeah. So he does. I mean, fair if you're going to try to kill me. And then the sandcrawler rides right into the Sarlacc's mouth as Boba Fett shouts, "Saw!"
Yes, he has a very Khan moment here.
Very much so, yeah. And I guess he's been eaten again.
That's the last we'll ever see of Boba Fett.
Cut to it, just throws him up again. He's like, "Oh, not again."
Yeah, at least this time he had a whole sandcrawler around him when he drove head first into this thing.
I gotta say, the Sarlacc pit I remember seeing, I don't think could just swallow a sandcrawler.
Again, I think this is a slightly smaller sandcrawler, but you're not wrong.
Yeah, just because this thing just is like, hump.
If anything, this is going to finish off this Sarlacc pit, which is just
will say,
what if I drove a Chevy into it?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably what will save him, is this thing just choked to death on the sandcrawler. And then he can just crawl out. I was expecting, actually, the Mandalorian armored hand of Boba Fett at the end. I'll get you next time, Solo.
Yeah.
It does end with a distinct bip.
Well, because we do have Han and Leia and R2 standing over the edge of the pit, with Han being a little bit like, I would have saved him. I would have if he just would have let me.
I do like Han really needs to tell Leia, look, I didn't just leave him to die, okay? I did try to save him.
Leia, who did not know Boba Fett was there.
Yeah. And Leia's like, what are you talking about? What? Don't worry about it.
As they're leaving, Han says, so much for a brand new galaxy. Come on, it's a long walk back to Mos Eisley.
Yeah. I do kind of want Leia to just be like, who gives a shit? That guy sucked. I kill people all the time. You're talking to the wrong person.
Yeah.
Like,
Leia has no moral compunction about killing dirtbag bounty hunters.
Way more people than Han. Way more people. Yeah, anyway, next issue. Nothing more exciting to promise than next issue will feature diplomacy.
Diplomacy in a fun font.
Yeah. Kids? You love diplomacy, don't you?
Oh, they better love it, because that's what you're going to get in the next 3 movies.
Oh, baby, yeah. I hope Senate meeting after Senate meeting after Senate meeting.
Yeah, issue number 81. Obviously, yeah, we're starting things off with a little bit of like Han Solo's got to find his groove again storyline.
Well, because it almost very befitting of them trying to have Star Wars find its groove again, right? They are.
Yeah.
I mean, there definitely is sort of a thing. You can feel Joe Duffy and the creative team being like, okay, well, what is the story now?
Right. And
right?
I think it is like starting off with the baseline of let us reestablish who these characters are now that they don't have the Star Wars to worry about. I think it's a good way to start things off.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, it does. And those of us who have read the next issue know that will get even more into the logistics of that.
Sure.
But it is an interesting question, right? About and it's certainly something that a lot of the expanded universe stuff that we've talked about has set. And I will say it's something actually Disney's doing right now, right? I mean, where the bulk of the Star Wars stuff that's being made right now is in that immediate aftermath of Return of the Jedi time period, because the galaxy's in a weird place.
The bulk of television and film, sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The bulk of the
I will never stop defending the High Republic.
I love the High Republic. And hey, we tried. People didn't want that Acolyte show, which we have been on the record as being big fans of.
Yeah.
People slept on that thing. It was great.
Yeah, they absolutely did.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of that's because I do think maybe that's where they should have started when they brought the whole thing back. I don't know. I get that because it is super interesting.
Maybe.
I do think it's always an interesting thing about what happens after you've won the day.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, rebels, you did it. You overthrew the Empire. What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's really hard.
And unfortunately, they now have to backfill this answer of they fucked up.
Yeah, which is a bummer. And once again, almost makes me go, why did I even watch those movies then when that happened? But okay. Anyway, sorry. What was the point of any of it if the Emperor's still... Okay. Diplomacy. That's next week's show.
Next week.
But hey, if you want more from us, you can head over to our Patreon page, which is patreon.com/punchup. That's punchup ENT. Get cool exclusive bonus content, including the forthcoming... We're recording it now after much demand. If you love Mike Rigoni and I talk about old superhero TV shows, we did our run of The Incredible Hulk. We are doing, as promised, The Amazing Spider-Man starring Nicholas Hammond from 1977.
Yes. You will be astounded at how much Spider-Man climbs on the same wall over and over and over again.
Get ready for the same footage again and again and again.
But seriously, it's interesting to go back to, again, this like previous era in the presentation of these comic book characters in the ways in which we thought we had to struggle to try to present these to a wider audience, and what things are given and what are taken away in the like, okay, there's an iconography here that people know and we will be popular. But what are we actually capable of presenting? And the push and pull there is interesting.
It's a very interesting, and we talked, and I think we're kind of doing that now on a broader scope. We did Incredible Hulk. We're doing Spider-Man now. We have plans to maybe do some other shows. It'll be interesting to see the sort of pre-superhero as, genre, even if I don't agree with that, but like as major pop culture dominance and some of the early stabs at like, can we make this comic book thing into a TV show?
Basically anything pre-Superman, right?
Kind of, yeah. And then maybe even some post-Superman stuff where we see the attempts to, can that be done on television?
No.
They tried. They
so
tried.
Many times.
That's always our takeaway. So anyway, if you want to hear that, plus a ton of other great stuff from us including early episodes of this show and all of our shows, we should also mention that. I don't mention that enough. You can get these shows a week early on the Patreon, and all of our shows like that. And Meet the Monsters, you can get 2 full seasons ahead of what's coming out.
You can get 2 years early.
yeah, including that's almost done on there, and then you'll get the new show, Meet the Slashers, first on Patreon. So head over there. That's patreon.com/punchup. That's punchup ENT. Where else can people check us out, Grigani?
YouTube. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/@punchupentertainment. There is the best way to watch this show, because you can see our beautiful faces, as well as read the comic along with us and see those weird Gilbert Godfrey faces that Han Solo is making. You can also...
Is this? Never tell me the odds. Hey, that's not good, Chewie.
Rest in peace.
Oh, I miss him. What a strange presence.
The kids these days don't respect a Gilbert Godfrey.
Well, they didn't grow up with him as a parrot, so
Yeah. But while you're there on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know in the comments below. What's your take on a Han Solo post Return of the Jedi? Do you just want him to be like cool and collected, badass hero for the rest of his life, or is this guy a smuggler who doesn't have his shit figured out? And now that he is trying to be a big man on campus in front of his new girlfriend, things are getting fucked up. I think one of those is more realistic than the other.
I do like the idea of it's like, I was the high school quarterback, and now I don't know what to do in my middle age.
And what he did was have a midlife crisis where he fought for the rebellion, and then after that, what do you do?
Then I had a kid, and that didn't go well.
I thought the kid would fix our marriage. How'd that work out?
Actually, that does kind of feel right for them. Why don't we just have a kid? Yeah.
That'll force us to be together.
Yeah. And then he's like, it's hard to have this kid. Go send him to live with his uncle. He'll straighten it out.
Shit, I think we figured out Han Solo.
Oh, no. It went bad? Real bad, you say? Uh-oh. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think that's going to do it.
That will do it for us this week. As always, I have been Mike Ergoni.
I'm John Campbell.
And remember, may the panel be with you.